What is success? Well, I'll tell you this. Success for you is completely different than success for me. Success is incredibly subjective. What does it mean to be successful? Everybody's going to have a different answer. But most people are going to think that success is going to come with a feeling like I've made it, a feeling of relief, a sense of calmness now that I've achieved that promotion that I was going for. I closed that big deal that I was trying to. I closed on that real estate transaction, and now my life is going to be completely different. I'll feel like I've made it. Wrong, okay? Ask any successful person, a Fortune 500 CEO, a person that buys a business, a person that does something impressive in business. They will tell you that when they became that person, nothing changed. They didn't feel like they made it. In fact, they probably felt pressure and anxiety, and they felt like they had more responsibility than they were cut out for, than they were prepared for. And I'll tell you, out of experience, this is exactly what I felt 2 months ago when I closed on the biggest deal of my life. My business partner started with a company over 7 years ago as a customer of the company that we ended up just buying. We were the first franchise owners in a budding and emerging IT franchise. And over 7 years ago when we started, we had the goal to become the best. And over the years, we became the top performing franchise. We started breaking rules, we pushed boundaries, we moved up market. We did everything we could to push this company forward. And along the way, we had this goal of potentially, could we buy the company at some point? Well, last year, the owner of the company gave us a shot. He said, sure, I wasn't really looking to sell, but if it makes sense, it makes sense. And from the day we had that first conversation with the last owner until 2 months ago, it took a year to transact on the business, to buy the business. Day one, talking high level, structure, finances, what would it look like to buy, to the day we closed, 1 year, lawyers, accounting, quality of earnings, you name it, everything in between. It was the most difficult thing I have ever done. It's the most difficult process I've ever been a part of. It was not for the faint of heart. It's not an easy thing to do. And I thought the entire way through that transaction that the day that I closed, I'd have this feeling that I've made it. I would have this feeling that a successful person would have. I've succeeded in my career. I've done what I set out to do. I hit the milestone. I closed the deal. I should feel amazing. Wrong. I felt the exact opposite. In fact, the day we closed, I almost felt depressed. I felt like, well, that's it. I signed the deal, I own the company, and I don't feel anything. In fact, I actually feel a little bit depressed. I feel like I have anxiety now. I feel like all this pressure is mounting. I feel like I have this crazy new responsibility that I wasn't prepared for. Success does not remove responsibility. In fact, success increases responsibility. The bigger your goals, the more pressure you're going to feel. The bigger your accomplishments, the more confidence you'll need to develop to be able to take on the responsibility that comes with that achievement. A lot of people have it wrong, right? They think, I need to know X, Y, and Z before I get started. I need to be prepared in order to feel confident in order to start that thing. Well, guess what? Confidence comes through getting through things that you weren't prepared to handle. When I first started my business, I had no idea about anything. I didn't know about payroll. I didn't know about taxes. I didn't know about how to send a quote through QuickBooks. I didn't know how accounts receivable and accounts payable and you name it. I mean, there's a million different things to think about in business that when I first started, if I thought to myself, I need to know all these things before I start, I would have never done it. I would have never built the confidence to be able to handle all those responsibilities by just solving those problems and getting through it. A lot of people think that confidence comes first, but it doesn't. Responsibility comes first, confidence then follows. Every chapter in my career has started before I was qualified. That CEO that you admire, that business owner that you covet and you think is incredible, all of those people are still figuring it out too, but they're just figuring it out at a much higher level. So the moral of the story here is, if you feel like you're waiting to be ready to start that business or to take that plunge and buy that deal, I'll tell you right now, you're never going to feel ready. There's no such thing as being ready for success. Success is something that comes when you take on the responsibility that you're not prepared for. When you take on that responsibility, you will build confidence in getting past challenges, overcoming hurdles, all of those things. It's like building a diamond, right? Or cutting a diamond through pressure, right? You become valuable through getting through those challenges. I love this quote: "You were capable long before you believed you were." And that is the moral of the story here, is you are capable long before you thought you were. And to me, over monetary things, over a number on paper, the most valuable thing that I'm doing right now is becoming the person that is able to handle the pressure, becoming the person that's able to deal with the anxiety and the weight of the responsibility of achieving goals and becoming successful. That person, to me, is so much more valuable than anything else out there. So become that person, become valuable through taking on responsibility. And just remember, success isn't an achievement. It's not hitting that goal. It's not getting to that milestone, closing that deal, getting that promotion. Ultimately, if you think that satisfaction is going to come through becoming successful like that, you're going to be let down, okay? Just remember to be excited about the person that you're going to become through the process.